Yeah. When you have to line your barbecue with these fire bricks, then you're
Then
off
we're
to a good
talking
start.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 104 of the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with Glenn from No.1 Projects, Haavard from Behind the Mistakes, and me, KG from Crude but Efficient. Yes.
Not
That
that
was very
efficient.
No, it wasn't. But we have a 2-year celebration.
Woohoo!
Woo!
104. That's
Yeah.
nice.
That sounds like an age of someone really old.
Sometimes it feels like it too.
Sounds like it feels like, yeah.
But yeah, it's not as much the squeaky joints and the bad hip as it is the squeaky chair and the bad jokes.
Well, we're not at our combined actual age yet, so I'm not going to do that math of what it really is, but it's more than 104.
Let's not ruin this day. And yeah,
with math.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, let's talk about something fun instead. So, Haavard, what have you been up to in the last week?
Nothing. So obviously, I posted a video.
It was a nice short one this time, though.
Yeah, it was moving pictures, but
Yeah, no.
but you actually signed up now.
Yeah, I actually signed up to Skaperfestivalen, so I'm now planning for everything I need to build. But then I also got derailed, and now I'm working on this year's Christmas gifts for the family and Plus. So there we are. But no, I am basically trawling online marketplaces for flight cases. I think I found a good one that fits the hellcorder, and it had some shaves on the side that I can cut away, so I get it very cheap, and then I can make a custom flight case for the hellcorder, and then that's going to be 2 months, and then we are there. So yeah, but realizing all the shit I need to pack, that is one thing, but I realized I need to look at it as a blessing in disguise, because then I get to really tidy and rearrange my workshop afterwards when I'm bringing it back again. So now I'm going to rearrange the red wall.
Ooh,
Nice.
But other than that, no making, none whatsoever.
so what have you been filling your time with?
I was gonna say pulling my hair, but since I'm almost bald to begin with, it's what have I filled my time with? It is
You did have a little trip, if that helps jog your memory.
yes, that is true.
How much did you drink on that vacation?
I was gonna say not enough, but yeah. I went to Portugal. Yeah.
Ooh.
The wife turned a nice big round number, and my gift were to bring her on a trip without her knowing where we were ending up. In Norway, for some reason, we call that a blue trip, where the other person doesn't know. Yeah, I have no idea why. But yeah, and I managed to have a connecting flight going down there, so we had a quick layover in Stockholm, and her parents lived there for a while, so and she loves Stockholm. So of course, once we got to the airport and she realized we were going to Stockholm, it's like, oh, we're going to Stockholm, and then she started planning. Oh, I know that restaurant, and we need to go to that store, and we need to do that, and where are we staying? And of course, I had all the tickets sent to me, also hers. So I just gave her the ticket for the first leg, so she had no idea. So once we came to that airport, it's like, let's go have a lunch and a beer, and then see where we go from here. But once she realized we were going to Lisbon, she was all smiles, and then she spent all the time figuring out which restaurant. I think we had booked restaurants for the 2 days before we hit the ground in Lisbon. So she's very efficient.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, we landed on Thursday afternoon, so we had the evening, and then we had Friday and Saturday, and we went back home early on Sunday because once you have kids, it's always nice to be home early, so you have the afternoon to like slow down and get back to pace. So we had 2 days. We walked 20 plus kilometers the first day, 30,000 steps according to the wife's watch. And we covered just a fraction of the city. So the next day we booked an extremely expensive tuk-tuk ride, or like an electric small car for sightseeing.
Cool.
Yeah, that was basically everything we got to do except eating and drinking. So we were basically just traveling around. All right, church, old building, church, old building. All right, restaurant, drink, and then church, old building, church, old building, and we just passed the churches. It's not something that we sought out, but it just happened to be there.
Did you drink any Cigress or Superbock while you were there?
Superbock, yes.
Yeah.
And of course we had bacalao as well.
Yeah.
There is a link between Norway and Portugal going way back. Since Norway is a fishery nation, we have always had like delivered dry cod to Portugal for the bacalao. So that's a thing we
Yeah.
have in Norway as well. But we don't have as much different courses as they have in Portugal. So we tried something completely different from what we have back home, which worked out. And yeah, the last night we were at the restaurant, which is they have these traditional singers as well during the course. Of course, my wife had a blast because she knows I really hate it. So you get into a packed restaurant in a cellar, and then of course they dim the lights, so you basically can't see what you're eating. And then I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but a flamenco guitarist came in and he started playing, and then some opera singer came in and sang something very feely in Portuguese. So we had no idea. And then of course at some point the rest of the people in the restaurant they sang along. So it's obviously something that they know. We had no clue. And then another opera singer, a guy came in and he did some singing. And then, of course, every time I got my food and was ready to eat, then we got interrupted by someone singing. So that's but yeah, I recommend it. Recommend it if you're into those kind of things.
Oh,
Sure.
you're such a grumpy old man.
You really are.
Vacation is all about food and drinks, and you get annoyed when you don't get food and drinks. That's you're
Yeah,
an
exactly.
elderly man.
I didn't come here to see any culture.
I've seen a church from the outside. That's enough.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I mean, I'm interested in history and culture, but we gotta we felt a bit cheated in Portugal actually, because once we got there, it's all the old churches, the old buildings. It's the big fortress on the hill overlooking the city and whatnot. And once we took the tour, uh, which were led by a very lovely Polish lady who moved there 6 years ago, and she told us that basically everything we have seen was ruined in the big earthquake with the following flood, roughly around was it between yeah on the proud part of 100 years or something. So everything here is built up relatively recent. So you're meaning it's not, no, it's not old, it's rebuilt. And that old fortress, they didn't bother to rebuild it. They just rebuilt the outside wall. So when you're in the city and you look up, oh, there's a big fortress there, and no, that's some rebuilt walls, and there's nothing behind there. So it's a bit of a show basically. And then the second day we took the train for an hour outside the city because there is a famous castle with a garden that has a lot of walkways and cut tunnels into the mountain, and like a huge dugout well with a a helical staircase to get down to the bottom. So that's the place where everybody goes. And we went there, and yeah, this is cool. And he built this thing for his wife, so because she likes to do evening walks. And of course, my wife just turned to me and said, "When are you going to build me a garden like that?" Well, so yeah, I have some more projects on my bucket list. But once we were there, we realized that no, they started building that castle in, was it 1902, and it was finished in 1911. So it's just barely past 100 years. And once you saw it, it's like, yeah, this is probably several centuries old and a lot of history. No, it's just a rich bloke wanted a castle, so we built it. So it's basically so new that you have the original electrical wiring and everything in there. So it kind of felt, what? It's not old. Nothing is old here. It's just, did Portugal even exist before? Is it like so? After that, we came into the city and we saw some big majestic building. Yeah, probably built yesterday. So we just moseyed along, and yeah, so there we are. But no, the weather is, it's brilliant. It is by all means like a Mediterranean city. So yeah, I really recommend it. It's a very nice city, and the people are really really pleasant, and everyone speaks English, so it doesn't matter, young and old, everybody understands you. So it's, yeah, it's really good.
It's only really the French that don't speak English. They can, but they just refuse to, I think.
Yeah. Did I mention I'm going to France next year? So it's gonna be a new grumpy travel letter. Yeah.
You can get over that though with how cheap the wine is. Yes,
Yeah.
that's how you overcome the language barrier.
Exactly, but I can't go full continental because I'm traveling with the then 6-year-old to Disneyland, so or Disney World. Don't remember which one's which. So I can't be too deep into the wine bottle. And of course, that is according to my standards. I mean, in the French, every 6-year-old is drunk by lunch by default, so they wouldn't bat an eye. But yeah, it feels weird as a Scando. So.
So what about you, Glenn? Have
Yeah,
you
I
done
haven't
something special?
I've not done any making whatsoever either. No, I think it was early last week. Michelle's car started getting poorly, and then it was a really short, quick illness because on Friday it was dead.
Oh no!
So yeah, so Michelle was gutted. She did actually love her car, but no, it was completely terminal. So we spent the whole weekend looking for a car,
Yay!
which was
Fun
great
times.
fun. Yeah, not
Especially
being
when you
able.
didn't plan for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we couldn't travel anywhere as a family. So it's either me and Lily or me and Michelle can go out somewhere. But we spent a lot of time looking online at cars, and then we travelled all over the place over the weekend looking at cars. And then we decided we just felt really rushed and a little bit bullied into having to buy a new car. And we didn't really want to go down the rental stage. So today I did buy a car, but I bought an old car.
Hmm.
I bought a Peugeot 307 from 2006.
Ooh,
That
With
is not a new car.
no, with 50,000 miles on the clock for
that's
fifteen
not
hundred.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,500 quid. We'll run that
That's
for a
not bad.
couple of months and probably lose 100 quid on it, which is much cheaper than renting one.
Yeah.
So yeah, just while we figure out what we want to buy and when we want to buy one, it just gives us some breathing space, basically.
Yeah.
But
A
that has been
starter
go
car
on.
before the main course. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good strategy. Yeah.
yeah. We're calling it the interim car, and we've already named it Beryl the Banger.
what 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 was wrong with the old one? So you didn't go down the route of, yeah, we're getting the same make and model as that one because now we have the parts.
No, the old one. It was it has a casing around the timing belt, and Minnie decided a few years ago that they were quite a few years ago, because Michelle's car is quite old, that they were going to make that casing out of plastic, and the constant heating and cooling of the oil breaks that casing down over a few years. So that casing breaks down and then gets sucked up into the oil and spits out all over the engine, affects the oil pressure, and then blows the turbo up as well. So, yeah.
Those sounds like important parts.
Yeah. It does
an
need them,
expensive
apparently.
parts. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a mechanic come round on Saturday just to make sure it was terminal. It's the same garage we always take our cars to. And he offered to come round, and he took it for a little drive. He drove down to the bottom of our street, and you both know how big my street is.
Yeah.
And turned back around and said, I don't really drive it any further. It's going to be an expensive call out to get it towed back otherwise. So I sat on the drive, and I suppose over the next week or so it'll go off for scrap.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice having a car that is so inexpensive that you feel like you've increased the value of it substantially while filling it up with gas.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry, it's a dent, it's a scratch, nothing matters. So that's good. Are you going to make some kind of headstone or so for the old car and put in the garden? To
Memorial.
A memorial, yeah. Would that be nice?
I don't know. I think she'd cry every time she saw it, though. Yeah, no, maybe not. It's kind of nice. It is kind of nice buying this cheap car, because I just feel if it breaks down anyway, we'll just walk away and leave it. And I actually kind of like the idea of buying these old bangers. Just buy a new one every year, so you just get some variation on your cars. Sounds like fun to me. As long as they run for a year.
I mean, that's my plan for the next car. I'm gonna, on the main online marketplace in Norway, you can now filter all the cars, not only by price and model and make and whatnot, but you can also filter if they are recently MOT'd for the next 2 years. So you set a maximum amount that you're willing to pay, and just show me the ones that recently got the 2-year MOT. And then that's what you got to pick from. And then, you get a banger, and as long as it runs, you don't care what happens to it, because in 2 years, you're going to get a new one instead of getting it fixed.
Yeah. I'm only upset we didn't go for the BMW 3 Series estate that was on the forecourt of this car garage that I've got the banger from. I've really quite fancied that one for a few months. I think that I've probably gotten closer to 200,000 miles on it, though.
Yeah, and doesn't matter which age or model or make of BMW you have. Whatever breaks, it's
going to be expensive.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you can also claim that this is an environmental thing, because you're taking old cars off the roads. So that's
exactly.
It's good for everyone. That's you buy one and drive it into the ground and then get a new one.
Yeah. I think my biggest worry is that we'll get this car and we like it and it just keeps on running, because we have run some cars and they've gone for scrap, but they've been perfectly good cars still.
Yeah.
They've put them through the MOT, we've not serviced them, and they've just sailed through. You just get silly things like the electrics not working and doors not being able to be locked anymore. But no one's going to steal them when they get to that age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's my problem as well. Of course, my car is now going in for the final fix and the MOT on next Monday. And once I paid that, there is no residual value in the car, but it is a decent car. But whatever happens to it now, it's going to be so expensive that it's not worth it anymore. And it is kind of sad, because it barely got any rust on it. And that's a good thing. It's 10 years old and you've been driven it in the salty country of Norway. But whenever something minor breaks, you're going to have to wait a year for it to be shipped from Italy. And it costs an arm and a leg to fix it, because the rates for any garage here in Norway is extremely expensive the last couple of years, so it's not worth it.
Yeah. Let's go off cars before KJ completely glazes over. What have you been up to, KJ? Come on. Tell us you've done some making. Well, Save the podcast.
I've got a new car.
Yeah, I made it.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be the one who had done the least making because I too was away on a work conference. That was it was really nice. We visited an old iron mine that was like 400 years old or something like that, but
Ooh.
it's been closed down for the last 50 years, 60 years, something like that. And they more or less just left, and the guys who found it left as much as they could intact. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
not an easy to get down into it. And they had built a stage down there and that sort of thing. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see all the colleagues again, and we did a church boat rowing. I don't know if that's a thing in.
Church boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, back in the days, up until middle of the 1800s, church was mandatory in Sweden.
All right.
So, and it's a big country with big distances, and traveling was much easier on lakes. And so then you just got a big boat, and had 20 people row it to get all the families to church.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, going back from church, it was a bit of a competition because you wanted to get home faster than the other villages and that sort of thing.
So, because church was mandatory, is that why you're all atheists now? Have you rebelled?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah, it's the exact same in Norway, actually. Yeah. Oh,
So that
church.
was real fun to try because it's really hard to actually row. You just get one oar, and then you have to follow the person in the back and that sort of thing. And as soon as someone messes up, everything goes to shit. So, but when it worked, it was really nice.
Yeah.
But you can get some speed up when everybody's in sync, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, the ones competing are going like 12 or 13 knots or something like that. We did not reach those kind of speeds, but it was a lot faster than I would have gone by myself.
How
Rowing at
does
least.
knots work into miles per hour or kilometers per hour?
I do not know. Let's ask the guy on the ocean.
Come on, Mr. Mariner.
That, it's weird that because I struggle on land with miles per hour converted to kilometers per hour because we're using the kilometers per hour over here. But I know the conversion number, but I don't like feel it by heart. But when it comes to knots, which is 1.852 kilometers, that feels natural. So once you're in a boat, you're talking about knots, you have an instant gut feel for how fast that is. Don't know basically what it is in kilometers per hour, but that doesn't matter because that frame of reference doesn't apply when you're out in a boat. So it is a bit weird, but yeah, it comes natural. So I
So
suppose
you
five
can't help
knots.
us then.
No, not at all. But if you give me a number, I can tell you if that's a sailboat fast or if it's a powerboat fast. That is.
10 knots.
Yeah, that's a most motorized dinghy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's that could be one of those duk 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 boats. That is
Yeah.
up towards 10 knots. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've actually done some making because I've done some more silicon molds. And to go back to what I've learned since last week is that if you put in more hardener, it will harden faster. Who would
Genius.
have known?
Yeah.
How on earth did you figure that out?
Yeah, trial and horror. So yeah, I actually been able to cast some stuff. The Lego piece turned out to be harder than I imagined to cast. So I have done some, but it's not come out that good. Done some other stuff as well. Did there's the camera. Skeletor head
Ah.
for any He-Man fans out there.
Yeah.
I just got that meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best part of the animated series, all the Skeletor parts.
Yeah.
So that's the only making I've been able to do, because I've also been trying to get the pergola video done. But it takes so
you sound
much
enthusiastic about this one.
time. It's 230 video clips recorded most over the entire summer. And I mean, yeah, it's It's a lot to cut away. And time has been not in abundance in the past week. So yeah. It's been a bad week for us making wise.
I've got to admit, I've promised myself I'm not going to make anything before I finish this drumstick, and that's been a little bit of a hurdle as well for me. Yeah, I must try and get some of that finished this weekend.
Yeah. You definitely should.
Yeah, otherwise I'm never going to be able to make anything ever again.
Maybe this is the turning point then. Yeah, he basically never ever made anything. It's like when a musician just like, he put down his guitar after that gig and just life got in the way, so he never picked it down again.
Yeah.
Must have been sad though, so yeah.
I have been toying with the idea of selling my fishing tackle to put towards some tools, because I've got a lot of fishing stuff. And I've actually got somebody who has asked me, they told me they want to buy it all in one go.
Ooh, sell it.
So I'm absolutely going to, but it does mean sorting it out and pulling. Because I do want to save a little bit. There's some stuff I bought for my 21st birthday and things like that. But I've already started spending that money in my head on tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might get a metal lathe before you at this rate.
Yeah, I just weared off now. I'm into storage solutions, so yeah, I haven't been thinking about tools for a long time.
I actually looked at lathes on brand new lathes, and then I went on Facebook Marketplace, and there's an old metal lathe, but it still looks decent. It looks fun. I quite like some of the older tools when they don't quite work quite right.
Yeah,
just like you,
just like me. Yeah. So I'm a little bit tempted by that one.
I mean, the older ones are cooler.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a really big chunky thing. It is still a benchtop one that I've seen, and it seems to have a motor that's sort of separate to the machine that belt drives.
Oh yeah,
the lathe itself. So that looks like fun. So that might be on the cards. You never know. Or I might just buy a new one. But then the problem is it's buying metal, isn't it? I was looking at brass the other day. I don't know why I was looking at brass the other day, but I was looking at brass bar. So 50mm brass bar, 1 metre of. Have you got any idea how much that costs?
£175.
No. Any guesses, KJ?
No, my guess more.
£330. Yeah. And that
was more than I thought it would be.
And that was a little bit of a stumbling block to me because I love brass. If I get a lathe, I want to use brass. So
I checked the same thing. It was not for the lathe, but I wanted to get a couple of sheets to just form and bang and make into different stuff. And like, holy crap, that was expensive. But I wasn't quite sure if that was just a thin sheet metal or if it was just basically the price per weight. But yeah, it turns out it is expensive, but also it's a tricky material on the lathe also because it is very grippy. So sometimes it just grips and it just destroys the piece, and then you have to start all over again. And then that's fun when the material costs a house and a cabin.
Yeah, I was going to say wood doesn't cost the house and a cabin, but it does grab and destroys the piece sometimes.
Yeah,
it's just all part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much old candles? How much old candlesticks and that sort of thing can you find in charity shops? That's brass.
Yeah. But then I need to melt them down, don't I?
I mean, if they're chunky, you can just turn them.
I bought this cheap lathe for £200, and then I spent £1,000 on a forge.
But I mean, it's just a larger scale, but it's the same with woodworking as well. You can buy the tools and then, all right, now I'm going to do some fine woodworking. And then you go to a store like, Now I'm gonna get some
Yeah.
proper oak and like, oh shit. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
going to the skip to see if I can't repurpose some old table legs and whatnot.
I've been really lucky since I built the workshop. People started giving me wood, and I've been given an abundance of oak. There's
Yeah.
loads of it under my workbench still.
A friend of mine, he and his wife came to my wife's birthday party, and he told me that yeah, on their plot of land, an oak tree has fallen down, and it is like 700 millimeters, so almost a meter in diameter. It's just fall down, so it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna just cut it down. Then I was like, I can take that off your hands, and no, I'm gonna get it milled up and make some table out of it. So he actually knew what it was worth. I was just like, okay, I can help you out and take it off your hands. So no.
Do you like the idea of renting a mill for the day or the weekend? And can you even do
Yeah,
that? Can you rent a mill?
I I'm not sure. But of course
It
I'm
seems
in the
like
market.
something that would happen in your countries, not mine.
But I am in the market for a chainsaw, so I'm very trigger happy. So if someone offers me a lot
Yeah.
of wood that I need to mill down, I mean I'm buying a chainsaw mill in a heartbeat. So
I think you should have a chainsaw. I think it's every man's right to own a chainsaw, like it is to bear arms in America.
exactly. But yeah, then of course I have realized I really don't have any place in storage. But I mean, I'm not going to turn anyone down if they like. All right, within a reasonable radius, they tell me that they have a huge oak that just tipped over. Yes, I'm gonna take it. If I have to build some temporary storage for it to dry out and whatnot. But yeah,
So your entire workshop becomes a
a
kiln
wood
to
storage. Yep.
dry it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an intermediate video. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break for 2 years while this lot dries out, and then I can figure out what I'm gonna
It's
make from it.
have it nice and hot in the workshop.
Yeah.
2 years before I built my workshop, I bought some oak from a sawmill. They have a little shed at the bottom of the sawmill, and it'd be really nice offcuts of oak and stuff. So I bought some of that cheap, and that was under my bed for 2 years before I built the workshop.
Yeah.
And Michelle never knew.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh, she knew. She just pretended not to. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably.
So Howard, did you have a funny story?
I
Last week?
did. I did. Can't for the life of me remember what it was though.
Oh damn it!
I'm
So
sorry. I'm sorry,
that in
Sharky.
itself, that in itself's become the funny story.
Exactly, and of course the build up to it would never meet the expectations anyway. Um, so I'm guessing there's no loss. The myth is larger than the story itself. So yeah, we might just have to leave it at that.
So I've been wondering about a thing. As you know, I've been watching a lot of Uri Tuchman lately on the YouTube, and he does a lot of brass carving, hand carving, which I never even knew was a thing. I didn't realize you could do it by hand. But what he does is he prints something off, flips it over on the metal, rubs it with some sort of liquid, and then it leaves a mark on the brass. It leaves the
Yeah.
design on the brass. What is that? Have you any idea? Or have I got to do some proper research on this?
Is that like some marking paper, like the marking fluid, but in paper form?
There's no point in asking me. I asked you first.
I'm asking what it looks like.
It could have been some special mark. It seems to print things off on the computer, flips it upside down on the piece of metal he wants to engrave, wipes it with some sort of liquid, and then it leaves the imprint on the actual brass.
I mean,
Maybe funny.
I didn't know that was a thing. I of course I have been looking into. I've seen the tattoo artist use something like that, where they print the design and
Yeah.
then they trace it on your arm before they start tattooing, and then
Okay.
I could use that for things, and maybe it's maybe it's the same thing. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
kind of transfer paper for, so like yeah, like temporary tattoos as well.
Yeah.
Books, they
Yeah.
use the same. I don't know. So you have to do some research, I guess.
Oh, damn it.
And come back to us next week.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna remember to do that. I'm not gonna
Exactly.
research
It's going to
before
be the
next
funny
week.
story all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah, I've got a really not so funny story to tell you next week.
Yeah. Or maybe you forget that one too. You never
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Could
Oh,
you use a laser to just not etch but just mark the
Not on
metal?
brass. Actually tried that while Haavard was here to see
Okay.
if I could engrave brass, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, speaking of not funny stories, I have an anecdote on that.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Well, I was on the way home from work today. I planned on just taking my family out to dinner and pay for it because, I mean, I was royally screwed at work today, and I was so without even having to be presented a date first. So felt only appropriate that yeah, I should go out and get something to eat. No, we are in the middle of an what do they call it in corporate term? Office restructuring. Yeah, it basically our department, which works with concepts and studies, has been demolished. So they sent out some cryptic emails a couple of weeks ago about yeah we're going to restructure something, but it's going to be business as usual. And when corporates say it's going to be business as usual, that's just to keep you calm before the storm. So yeah, this week the shit hits the fan. Yeah, that department is going to be closed down. Of course, all of us who are working in various projects, we are now going to report to the business leader of that specific branch that covers that area. So, of course, I'm fully occupied in my project, so I'm basically safe. I'm just gonna report to a different name on a different Teams meeting, but it's total chaos. And of course, all the middle management, and this might be a good thing. They don't have anything to do anymore. So, of course, because they're just managing the people, and once they destroy the department and just redistributes to people, there are no more people to middle manage. So and of course they are bailing the ship faster than drowning rats. So if you need any help, good luck, because there is no one left to answer those questions. And of course the people who are able to answer your questions, those are the one who leaves first because they are actually useful elsewhere. So yeah, it is a shit show. So that's fun. Of course, it is nice to. I still have projects for at least a couple of years, so I'm safe in that way. But it is like I have this feeling that I'm not working in concept development anymore. I'm just working in that specific project, and after that, who knows? So yeah, I've started looking into any other interesting jobs. So of course, if anyone happens to know anyone who needs someone who's into flamethrowers and various audio equipment, just let me know because yeah, I'm on the search. So
Yeah,
that's fun.
it's you know all the people that are into that already, don't you? And no one's offered to give you any money for that so far, I'm afraid.
No, and yeah, it's a very narrow niche as well, so it's not any
Yeah.
huge commercial value out there. Um, that being said, though, we're the neighboring city, so to speak, is one of the largest producers of firearms and rockets in the world. Basically, Norway has a niche there, and they are the last couple of years. I have realized there's an increase in them applying for people. Of course, it is. Yes, you get to work with things that goes boom, but then you know where they ship it off, and it's actually used on people. So yeah, if you have a conscience, you really don't want to work there. So that's a no go.
Yeah.
I'm very much into things that go boom, but I don't like using it on people. So, yeah.
And everyone should be happy for that.
Yeah, I
Think
should.
Haavard without the conscience. That would be awful.
Oh, that I should be paid a government grant to just do your thing, never go commercial. That's yeah, it's a good outcome for the world.
Why don't you start your own car dealership, just selling old crap cars? I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, Italian ones, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just being dead honest. Yeah, this is just for 3 weeks while you get a proper car. This is a good banger. Yeah. Uh, no,
That
I'm
guy
fed
wrote
up
about.
with cars. I don't think, and I mean, car salesman that's a dime a dozen. So
Yeah. What about
no,
something ridiculous for Norway, like a parasol salesman or something like that?
yeah. The problem is though the high living cost. And the mortgage and having to support a family. If that was off the table,
Yeah.
of course, I could live hand to mouth for a few years while I was doing interesting niche things.
Yeah.
But that's kind of off the table when you are a 40 plus family
Yeah.
man. So yeah, I have to be realistic about it. But it's good to be in that position where you're not just, oh shit, I'm out of a job now. I have to panic and get the first and best thing. It's like buying the car. I am now. I'm still in that the leftover wreckage of a banger of a
Yeah.
company while I'm looking for the new one. But so yeah, it's still gonna
You got
hump
some
along.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. You wouldn't want the job to shit itself like Michelle's car did last Friday and have to find something for Monday, would you?
No, very much not. So, but then
Although
again, I
you're
mean,
you're in that fortunate position there, aren't you? Where you don't lose any money, you get paid, won't you? The government
yeah,
will pay you.
yeah, the government will pay you. I mean, they pay you up to 60% of your wage while you're unemployed, up to a certain limit. I mean, if you're a billionaire and you lose your job, they're not going to pay you hundreds of millions. So there is an upper roof, but it's a comfortable roof,
Yeah.
at least for looking for other jobs while you have all your needs met and you have all the time in the world in the workshop. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I have thought that idea, but I don't. Again, it's the conscious bit. I'm not gonna make myself unemployed to get more workshop time. That's
But if you were forced into it, you could do it guilt free for a couple of months, couldn't you?
yeah, up to I think they can do that up to 2 years, and after that, the government says that all right, if you haven't gotten a job within the field that you are good at, basically, then after 2 years they don't pay you unemployment money anymore, but they pay you to. It's the same money, it's just a different budget, but then you have to do some re-education, find another field and
Yeah.
whatnot. So you can do that for a few years while getting paid as well. So I mean, I understand that we have a lot of people on welfare because it is a sweet. I mean, you can spend 2 years looking for jobs, but you can apply for jobs you know you will never get. And the government is happy. Yeah, it's applying for jobs left and right. So it's just a matter of time, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after 2 years, well, okay, maybe it's not going to happen. So let us re-educate you, and then you can do that for 2 3 years, get a grade in something different, and then you can get a job. So yeah, then again,
Yeah.
it's a conscience thing.
So,
Damn.
what is the most ridiculous job you could apply for, do you think? I mean, this question goes to both of you. I mean, it'd be like me applying for an IT job, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, some IT guys you talk to, you think that you should be a gardener instead.
Yeah. They just do restarts, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could apply as a general surgeon at a hospital. I mean, they are always in demand
Yeah.
of people, but of course,
I think you need some training for that.
You've always got that fear that they accept you, haven't you?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Do you need to apply for something that you could possibly pull off? Then of course it
Yeah.
narrows the niche down. But we had a couple of instances here in Norway on the west coast where a doctor has performed operations for many years, and then it turns out he didn't have the proper credentials, and all the lawsuits came because people had botched job operations done and so on. So the quality filter of the personnel is not as good as one would hope for, at least if they're
Yeah.
desperate to get the surgeons at their hospital because they don't have any. Then they basically, oh, you're a surgeon, you have some papers on some acrylic, it looks like it's an online, well, all right, it's probably good, we'll take you, welcome aboard. So yeah,
His,
that's
his resume his resume probably read the same as ours. We can fix things.
yeah.
yeah.
uh,
I don't think there's any of those high profile jobs that I would actually want. I don't want to be a surgeon. I don't want to
No.
be a pilot. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to be in some kind of banking and any kind of those. It's just, yeah, I would not
Yeah.
do well in either of those.
So would a ridiculous thing be more like a professional footballer for UKJ or something like
That would
that?
also be very. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's not a good fit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I've been
wasn't. I
thinking we
wasn't saying
had
it's something you want to do. Just something ridiculous. Like I wouldn't want to be an IT guy.
but
Yeah, but I was thinking ridiculous that
Yeah.
actually I could do.
that all right, thought experiment, we had our election yesterday. And being a politician in Norway is decently paid. Some of them are getting like a bit of thrash back for the pays are higher than they are delivering. But basically, once if you get into a political party and that party get enough votes, then of course they need a set of amount of people in the government, and of course they want the people from all being representative from all over the country. So you get a decent pay, and if you're not from this region, they also cover an apartment for you, so you have something to live when you are in the capital. So you can still be registered in the boonies with your big grand house out on the countryside, which costs next to nothing, and then you just go in every once in a while to the capital to attend some meetings, and you get paid for that. So you just have to get over that threshold. I mean, getting into a political party, that's easy enough. You just pick one and say, I want to join, and they're happy to because they always want people. So then it's that marginal threshold where you just put your head on, I would like to have some responsibility. And then you have to do just enough that people think, yeah, this is a guy we want into politics representing us. And after that, you're home safe because then you're at least for a 4 year period, you have a decent job and you basically don't have to do anything. So,
But other than that, media will pester you a couple of times a day to comment on things, and you have to talk to people and I mean
no,
be
because
social and all of that.
that's going to be my thing, though, because I've chosen to be a politician. I'm going to work for the people to make the world a better place. And that means I don't have the time to just answer to any journalist asking stupid questions because they do. So, yeah, I'm just going to happily decline all their invitations. I got better things to do. Go hassle someone else. And I think I could pull that off for a good, decent time. And then with a few, I mean, when the partisan leaders or whatever it's called say that, all right, you need to go to this event. I'm going to be completely honest. That has worked well for me up until now. Why shouldn't that work?
Might be hard to be elected if no one knows who you are
Yeah.
because you're the one who doesn't go to any social
Yeah,
things.
but that's the thing. You need to get you need to do that input work at the local branch for them to nominate you, and then if you then get voted in, that's maybe the threshold. After that, you don't need to do anything. It seems to be what basically all politicians do. Most of them. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
as
was
long
gonna
as they
say I
get
think that's the plan of most of them. So
yeah, as long as you get into office, you're happy for 4 years, and then you spend 2.5 years doing nothing, and then you realize, oh shit, there's an election. So if I go out and lie enough for people to believe it, then I might get reelected for 4 new years. And once you get reelected, it's like, yeah, now I don't have to do anything again. I just have to go out and say, yeah, I might have lied a bit, but yeah, in Norway they say I'm just going to lay flat and apologize, and then everybody's going, all right, he laid flat, so then it's okay, and then you move along. And after 2.5 years, they lie again in front of the next election, and the circle continues.
I was just sat here thinking what sort of job I would actually really like to do, and I was really struggling to think, and then it suddenly hit me I'd actually quite like to do what I did as my first ever job now, and that would be a precision engineer, making one-off parts for obscure machines that that a bike factory used at the time. What was it, rally bikes? Yeah, they used to make a lot of machines for that. I thought that'd be great fun now. Yeah. Hated it when I was 16 though.
Yeah. Just do it and see what happens. Get that metal lathe and see if you can come it from a hobby.
But that's the thing approach. Though. And is it ego? Or you might see that position vacant, right? We need a guy to do this. And of course, there is going to be a dime a dozen of people just out of school that has, all right, they have studied this branch of engineering and they're a fit. But once you're out of engineering, you got the theory, but you haven't built anything. And a lot of engineers has now worked 20, 30 years, but they have never built anything in their life because they're doing PowerPoint engineering. And then you kind of know that, yes, I haven't worked in that for 30 years, but I've built a lot of shit and tried a lot of things that would be very beneficial in that job. But you know that they're not going to look twice at you because they are focused on what year you went to what school, not what you actually can do for the company. And that's why we are there where we are today, where they're doing a restructure. Because we're all hired for what's on the paper, not what we actually know to do or want to do. So.
Yeah, the only kind of thing I could think that I would like to do is like work at a recycling center or something like that and help people. Just pick the good stuff out of the trash. That would be nice.
I mean,
just embrace my inner trash panda.
Yeah.
Could you? I see that some of these recycling plants they're open at least in the summertime. They're open like on Saturdays. Do they have like a 10% vacancy for those Saturdays? Could you just fill that slot? Yeah, I'll just work there for every other Saturday in the summer months just to cover the trash panda. You're getting paid for just putting things aside. Some few days here and there.
Working weekends at the recycling station.
I mean,
that sounds rather nice, actually.
Maybe you should start.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe you should just start your own reclamation yard.
That could also be.
Yeah, that'd be good fun.
Yeah, but then then you need to run it because it accumulates with all the stuff you don't want to have as well.
It's funny. There's one in the village, and I should have taken you both to see this while you were here, but we never got around to it. But the guy there is absolutely hilarious. You can walk round and he'll come and say, you're right, do you need... He always looks very suspicious at you because you're looking at his treasure. Do you need any help? I said, no, I'm just having a look around, see what you've got. And then every once in a while you'll ask him what the price is of something. And bearing in mind that this yard is full of a lot of metal going very, very rusty, and he gives you the highest possible price. He doesn't want to sell any of it.
Yep, that would be me.
Yeah, I would be that guy, definitely. Yeah.
He had these metal steel bins, and I fancied half a dozen of them for the work in the office here as storage.
Yeah.
And I was looking at them, and he probably had 30, 40 of these bins. And I said, how much are those? And I'm thinking, maybe a $5 each. And I think he wanted £20 to £30. And these things, some of them were that rusty and old, they're just falling apart anyway. And he would not move on that price. It was just brilliant.
But that being said, though, I feel that I'm very much in line with KJ, but it in my case it would be a combination, because if you could live off it, I would very much be a farmer, because I see the farmers, they have a huge barn, they have a lot of tools, and then of course you have a tractor, and a lot of land. You can get your own firewood and whatnot, and they are trash pandas, the ones that I see. So they are accumulating steel bars. Oh yeah, I have place for that, and of course they have so much shit it doesn't fit in the barn anymore.
I think it's
But
a bit more than just accumulating stuff with being a farmer, though. I mean, they're all ploughing and drilling the fields at the moment, and I mean, there's just one
yeah,
guy out in a tractor at 9 o'clock at night.
and I would be happy doing that if you could have that as your main occupation. But that's the sad thing, and that is not, of course, only in Norway. You have it in Britain as well. I'm guessing it's the same in Sweden. All the farmers, at least one, have to have a separate job to make ends meet. And that just makes it a hassle. I mean, if you could have it as a full-time job and you made a decent pay of it, it would be a good life, I think, for me. But yeah, the hassle of making ends meet and then having to get up, tend to the animals, and then you have to go and have an 8-hour work to make ends meet, and then you have to go back. I mean, I'm tired enough as it is, but if that could be my full-time job, I think that would be I mean, as pleasant as hard work can be. But yeah, hard work hasn't killed anyone yet, so I should be fine, maybe.
Well, yeah, on that note, let's end this celebration. Wasn't it celebratory?
Very much so.
No one has made anything.
Yeah.
Hassle with work, cars dying, cars in the world. Yeah, it's been wonderful, hasn't it?
At least we have the podcast and each other. At least for now.
Yeah, well, what do you say? A big dick is a small comfort in a poor home.
Speak for yourself, I was going to say, but yeah, all right, let's cut it there. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. I never heard that form before, but I'm definitely going to remember that one.
Isn't that the standard saying? Just something I heard.
Never heard it. And
But it's
definitely,
true.
I'm definitely not going to remember it.
I'm probably going to
Doesn't it
remember
resonate
it
with
wrong
you?
and say, like, yeah, that's like having a huge dick in something, and then people are just gonna like, what the fuck did he say?